Hi there, this is Love Johar. Thank you so much for tuning into this video and thank you so much for watching this channel. A very important video again for the new Personal Data Protection Act 2023. Here in this video, we will try to understand what are the important stakeholders along with their definition as per the new Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023. So the first, you can see data principal. A data principal is nothing but an individual whose personal data is being processed. So here, for example, anyone who is being asked to provide the personal data, it could be name, it could be phone number, it could be anything. That particular individual is being referred to as the data principal. The second thing is data fiduciary. Any entity or individual who determines the purpose and means of processing of the personal data. In GDPR, this is being referred to as data controller, if you are aware about this term. However, in the Digital Personal Data Protection Act, this is called as data fiduciary, very important. And similar to this, we will also understand significant data fiduciary. So, what is the difference here? So when we talk about SDF, which is also called as significant data fiduciary, so it is nothing but a data fiduciary who processes a large volume of personal data or who is processing activities have a significant impact on the privacy of data principles. So this is especially applicable for hospitals and especially for insurance sectors where you are actually dealing with a lot of sensitive data for medical insurance, hospitality sector. So this is mainly related to those particular industries and organizations. So we call them under significant data fiduciary. And for data fiduciary is referring to any entity who is actually dealing with the personal data. Okay, so there is a difference here. Uh, After that, you have data processor. Again, similar to GDPR, which is any entity or individual who processes the personal data on behalf of the data fiduciary. So, try to understand one thing. The data processor could be one or two or three, depending upon the requirement of the data fiduciary. It could be n number of data processors, depending upon the requirement and the as per the requirements of the data fiduciary and the organization who is trying to act as the data fiduciary. However, you have to make sure that proper contracts are in place with all the data processors. We will come to that later on. And also in the next video, I will tell you what is the main difference between GDPR and this new Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023 that we have. So just for now, just make sure if you are dealing with any data processors, make sure you have proper contracts in place where you actually determine the purpose and means of processing personal data along with the different security controls which you want to be in place for that. So this is a responsibility of the data fiduciary. So make sure you understand that important term. And after that, you have data protection officer. Again, a similar thing. All those of you who have already studied about GDPR would completely resonate with this. An individual who is responsible for overseeing and ensuring compliance with the DPDP Act, which is nothing but the Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023, within an organization is known as data protection officer. Then you have personal data. Personal data is nothing but any data that relates to an identified or identifiable individual. Okay, so make sure that you understand personal data. It is very important. It could be name, it could be phone number, it could be email ID, it could be IP address, it could be anything that can identify an individual. Okay, so make sure you understand that. And then you have processing. Processing is any operation or set of operations performed on the personal data, including collection, storage, use, disclosure, or erasure. Okay, any type of operation being performed on the personal data. Then you have consent. Any freely given, specific, informed, and unambiguous indication of the data principal's willingness to have personal data processed is known as consent. So you have to make sure that you understand it properly. Consent plays a major role in terms of the new Digital Personal Data Protection Act. And you have consent manager. This is a new role that has been introduced, a person who acts as a single point of contact for individuals to give, manage, review, and withdraw their consent to the processing of their personal data. So this consent manager acts as an intermediary between the individuals, the data subjects, and the data fiduciaries. Okay, very important role to understand. New role in place. Then you have Data Protection Board. So a new body again established under the Data Protection, Digital Personal Data Protection Act, and the Data Protection Board is responsible for overseeing and enforcing the DPDP Act, which is the Digital Personal Data Protection Act. Then you have appellate tribunal. So this tribunal handles appeals and complaints related to orders or directions issued by the Data Protection Board of India. So you have to make sure that any escalations or complaints are going to this appellate tribunal. So make sure that you understand all these important terms that we have covered in this. It is very important for cyber security people out there, cyber security personnel out there, security professionals out there, to understand this new Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023, because it talks about privacy, it talks about personal data, and more importantly it talks about a lot of different things which are not covered under GDPR. So it's a separate act, not entirely related to GDPR. So make sure you understand all these terms that we are discussing here. And in case if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.